The Ulster Museum have put on a number of exhibitions. Each of these exhibitions tell a story of our recent past, that 30-year period of conflict commonly known as the Troubles. When we were developing the earliest of the exhibitions, which was Art of the Troubles, we talked to the Wave Trauma Centre, which is an umbrella charity that looks after victims and survivors of the Troubles. And they were incredibly good at partnering with us because it's imperative that our staff are prepared, not just the front of house staff, but also the curators themselves. Some of the stories, etc., that are told by the people in these exhibitions are very harrowing, and it can be upsetting and very emotive for our visitors. So we were able to engage with Wave Trauma trainers so that our staff, any member of staff that has to sit on the galleries as an invigilator, has been trained to allow them to know how to deal with someone who is upset by what they see, and be able to give them the information that Wave has given us so that they can go and talk to somebody that can really deal with this trauma. We understand that we may have a shared history, but we don't have a shared memory of that conflict period. And also we want to engage with people to make sure that their voices are heard within the exhibition, and that's really, really important to us in all our programming and the project work that we do out in communities. Our projects that reach out into the community, we try to make them long term. This is not like something that we're going out over a short period of time. We want the engagement to be long and lasting, and for them to be feeling comfortable to come back to the museum and see the work that they've done. We also travel the exhibitions. Both Silent Testimony and Art of the Troubles have travelled. Silent Testimony has travelled internationally. It's been to Paris, it's been to New York, it's been to England, it's been to Dublin, and the Art of the Troubles has had a specific community engagement project around the border where we travelled it to communities and allowed those communities to come in and talk about their own personal experiences. We're also out in the community because a lot of the material that you see in this exhibition has been recently collected from people who thankfully had collected material at that time and now understand how important it is that we put it on display. When we put them on display, we're not quite sure even how the public will react. So that's why it's so important that we have those conversations with the staff, but also with outside organisations who can also support us and help us to see if there are issues that they think that might be brought up by visitors coming to the museum. The curators also talk to the staff about why the exhibitions are so important for us to do, why we're continuing to work in this area, and also to explain some of the nuances and some of the objects much more in detail that may not at first hand seem to be traumatic or something that could trigger someone, but it's better that we're able to communicate with our staff so they have this level of confidence too, that they have the curatorial support. If you're dealing with an exhibition that is highly emotive, it's so important to talk to those people within the community so that they are aware of what you're planning and that you engage with them at the earliest opportunity so that when the exhibition opens, you're not confronted by people who may think that their voice isn't being heard within the exhibition. We had thousands of people giving us their feedback on how they felt about those exhibitions. It's extraordinary how those art exhibitions allowed the public to have difficult conversations even internally with themselves about things that they may have forgotten, or conversations with their family and friends. Anyone under the age of 30 really in Northern Ireland has no direct contact with the Troubles in their lives. But we do know that there is a transgenerational trauma that runs through families, and we feel that these exhibitions allow us as well to explore how we can engage with these communities, especially young children and teenage children, to work out ways and means that we can address some of the issues that are current within our society today.